Judge Lavergne, I wanted to know if you have any comments to provide in relation to what was just said.
The accused, Your Honor, I would like to confirm that my authority at M13 was full. I maintained my strict position in managing M13, whether I assign anyone to be smashed. This kind of thing have been were done secretly. I never acted like in a drama because I did not contest that I was responsible for the crimes, but I never acted like in a play pointing anyone to be executed, to be taken away to be executed. I would like to tell you frankly that I tried my best to make sure that the secrecy was well maintained in my capacity as a full-right cadre. It was to make sure that we order something and that people had to carry out the order in respect. So I do not contest the crimes I committed, but I contest the statement that I acted like in a play. So it's not really a joke in that kind of thing. The President, Judge Lavergne, would you like to ask further questions?
Judge Lavergne, I was thinking about asking questions about document D59 Annex 12, which is related to the statement of a certain Im Vorn, but I'm afraid we'll be facing the same difficulties, so maybe it would be a good idea that the Chamber makes a decision concerning a reading of this document or a possible reading of this document, or maybe we should adjourn the hearing of this morning, and that we could maybe assess this when we meet again after lunch.
The President, you take the floor, the co-prosecutor.
Votre Honneur, pour bien clarifier, il s'agit...
Co-prosecutor Petit, we're speaking about the statement which in Khmer is under index D59, is that so? That it is Im Vorn's statement? Is it therefore the one that is indexed as under D59 that was presented in the introductory submission and whose French and English translation was done on the 24th of March 2008 and was included in the case file, and it's referred to as D10827.12. Is that the case? I mean, well, that's the statement that we would like to refer, that we're talking about. Maybe we should verify the references during the interruption. I would like to specify that this person, you also asked during the investigation that this person be interrogated by the co-investigating judges, and this was agreed to, and the Chamber considered therefore interviewing this person, but it happened that the support unit for the witnesses told us that Im Vorn in fact died, so it is not possible to interview him. Mr. President, your honors of the chamber, in order for you to take a stance regarding these documents, I would like to remind you that, unless I'm mistaken, the co-investigating judges did not directly take these into account, insofar that there were other witnesses who were able to be interviewed in the context of a normal legal proceeding. So we are here, and we'll have other opportunities, of course. We are here in the presence of documents that are included in the case file by the co-prosecutor's office, whereas we are not dealing here with legal documents, and that is the problem. That is the problem that we are facing. So once again, in the name of the defense team, I have a lot of reservations, and I'd like to express these concerning these documents, because we don't know their origin, nor the people who did the interviews, nor the competence of the people who did the interviews, nor their independence of opinion. So, in short, you do not have here the guarantee that these documents have been established according to the rules of a legal proceeding. So I would like, therefore, that we just only refer ourselves to the witnesses who can appear before the chamber, and to have the accused answer these witnesses. But as long as these documents are included in the file, of course, I thank the chamber to give the possibility to the accused to express his point of view, but my problem is that these documents are still in the case file. That is really my problem. They should not be in the case file. And it's the same for certain films as well, by the way.
Au risque d'avoir le même débat plusieurs fois,
we had the same discussion several times, and it's clear if there were certain elements that were not in the case file, it is clear that, and the aim, therefore, of this discussion here is to establish what is true from and what is not true. So let's look at the facts. Let's weigh them, let's test them, and let's come to a conclusion. And of course, if we're dealing with legal elements, they will be evaluated in a certain way, and if these are non-judiciary elements, they will be evaluated in a different way. But the aim here is, before professional judges, is not to be afraid of evidence, but to confront it and to assess it and to pass judgment on this evidence. But I don't have any existential questions, however, in relation to the elements here that are presented. But I will let you decide.
the President, we already listened to the comments made concerning the documents made by the Defense Counsel and the prosecutors. Now I would like, the Chamber would like to know whether the civil party lawyers wish to make any comments concerning the documents that have been discussed by the Defense Counsel and the co-prosecutors. So I would like to now allow Group 1 civil party lawyers to state your comment first.
Thank you, Your Honor. We do fully support the prosecution submissions in full.
The President, next civil parties lawyer of group number 2.
Thank you, Your Honor. We would like to draw your attention on that all evidence is admissible before the chambers except which is not allowed under the law. And in addition, I would like to state that I also identified differences between the English and French version, and so I suggest, if the Chamber decides to read certain parts of the document, then to read it in Khmer and to get the translation then here in the courtroom, that we have the same results. Thank you.
Civil party lawyers group 3, say the President. You can take the floor.
Civil party group 3, very brief observation. What we're looking for in this trial is truth. So therefore it is suited to consider the case file in its totality. I would like to get back to the major observation that Mr. Co-Prosecutor Robert Petit provided to us. We will assess all of the documents on the basis of their nature. These are judiciary documents, or if they are extrajudiciary documents. All of the parties will be confronted with these. All of the parties will have the possibility to express their observations. So therefore we consider that the documents that we're dealing with here must be presented and examined in its totality. Thank you.
The President, now civil party lawyers group 4. Mr. Kong Pitsai, Your Honors, I am on behalf of Group 4. Mr. Hong Kum Soon is sick and Mr. Pierre Olivier Chou is not available today. I am here to represent Group 4. I would like to make some comments concerning the documents that are already available in Khmer. So may I suggest that the Khmer version is read out so that it can be translated in to other official languages. And I think these documents, whether it is obtained by the NGO, it is part of the judiciary document because it is admissible and included in the case file. So the parties can review this document from the very beginning. So if they would like to contest the document, that they would have done so during the investigative phase when the documents have already been forwarded to the trial chamber. So I think it is admissible and that the trial chamber should read the Khmer version then. The President, it is time to adjourn for lunch break, so we shall now have lunch break and resume at 1:30. May the detention facility guards take the accused back to the detention facility and bring him here before 1:30. And all participants and the audience also please come before 1:30.
សូមអញ្ជើញក្រោកឈរ Please stand up. Please sit down.
The President, the court is now in session. Next, the chamber would like to give the floor again to Judge Lavenge to proceed. The floor is yours.
Judge Lavenge, first a clarification. For the time being, the chamber does not intend to continue reading the statements collected by DC Cam insofar as Messrs. Im Von and Ham In are concerned. It will render a decision subsequently in regard to these documents. For the time being, the chamber therefore requests the parties not to refer to these documents. Now I would like to put some questions to the accused regarding the end of M13. Can you tell us when it was decided to close down M13? When this was closed down, what measures were taken?
The accused, Your Honors, I still maintain the statement I reported to the co-investigating judges. On the 1st of January 1975, my superior was busy fighting the last battle. That's why M13 was vacant without a superior, so all the detainees were ultimately interrogated but left inactive. On the 17th of April, I learned from the radio, and I waited until the 30th of April that when my messenger asked me to work with Son Sen. Then he asked me to report at M13A when some detainees were left, and he said that some numbers of these people needed to be smashed and some needed to be sent to the police office of Sector 32. At that time I asked him to release Hom In, but he denied, and I had to carry out the order to send Hom In to police office Sector 32. So the office of M13A ended on the 30th of April 1975. So did the M13B according to his order. But some of the detainees were left. However, the staff of M13A were asked to be kept with me awaiting his order. But the staff of M13B, all but Comrade Sun was allowed to come with me. The other person were asked to send to the base because they were the people who belong to the Angka at the base. So the office closed down on the 30th of April 1975. And I was given a Yamaha 80 after it closed, 80cc.
George Lavergne, what I suggest is that your statement before the co-investigating judges is read out, and you will tell me, if you please, whether you confirm what is contained therein. I am referring to document D70. In the French version, this is page 3, ERN number 00185482.
Est-ce que quelqu'un pourrait donner les numéros de RN en anglais?
Could somebody provide the ERN numbers for the English and Khmer versions? ERN 185, says the accused. 467 at page 3 of D70.
En anglais?
George Lavergne, in English?
In English, it's 00185473, the start of the document.
Je vais lire la version française, j'espère qu'il n'y aura pas de problème de traduction.
Judge Lavergne, I shall read the French. I hope there will be no problem with the translation. You say this: I was head of M13 from the 20th of July 1971 to the 1st of January 1975. I prefer to remain silent as to the rest. So, a question. You refer to the 1st of January, so you said you started working from the 15th of August 1975, so it means that your activities continued after the 17th of April 1975. You answer, actually, M15 did not exist as from the 1st of January 1975. There were no more interrogations, execution, or arrival of new prisoners. The prisoners were kept until the 30th of April, at which date Son Sen had the prisoners of M13B released and had the prisoners of M13A transferred to Section 32 and had some of them executed. From that date until 20th of July 1975, I was unemployed. I moved about on my motorcycle. I should say that at that time I was expecting a response to my request for transfer to the Ministry of Industry. In the end, the response was negative. I asked the organization for authorization to marry my wife. Anka accepted, but did not set a date for the marriage. My wife was delaying things because as I was unemployed, she was worried that I would be arrested as an intellectual, and she was afraid of becoming a widow or being arrested herself. In the end, we married on the 20th of December 1975. On the 20th of July 1975, says George Lavergne, you took part in an education session and you took up your duties on the 15th of August, and a little later you say, in response to the question to return to your personal role in torture, do you maintain? Well, we'll move over. On the 30th of April 1975, how many prisoners remained in M13? How many were killed? How? And did you yourself organize the transfers and the executions? And did you participate? Answer. There were few prisoners left, perhaps between 5 and 10 in M13A and 100 or so in M13B. As to the precise number of those who were executed or transferred to Sector 32, I have forgotten. I only remember that I had asked for the liberation of Ham In, but Son Sen refused and ordered his transfer to Section 32. I did not personally attend the executions. I had delegated this task to Mies. I add that every day I saw the detention conditions in M13, and that is precisely why I tried not to see the detention conditions in S21. Mies was in charge of detention conditions and execution at M13A, whereas Pon was in charge of interrogations. As for M13B, Ho Kim Eng, alias Sum, was its chairman. As for me, I supervised the whole. End of reading. George Lavergne. Do you confirm what I said? Do you wish to make any comments?
The accused, Your Honors, I already stated in front of the co-investigating judges from the bottom of my heart to attest to the truth. So there is nothing more than that. But I may misrecollect that on the 20th of July I received a letter that to send me to attend a study session, and but because I received a notice from KWO8 that I would come to Phnom Penh on the 23rd of June, so I would say that I missed calculated the date, so I came to Phnom Penh on the 20th of June 1975, not the date that I stated before the co-investigating judges. So this is the message I would like to correct. The rest of the statement still true.
Judge Laverne, so you do confirm that you took up your time after M13 was closed, moving about on your motorcycle.
The accused, I did not move about, I moved from M13A to the office of Sơn Resort alias Gone. He was the brother of my boss. So I waited for hearing the decision from the superior. I would like to state again, I made it rather fast, but this time slower. When I got the motorcycle, I reported to the co-investigating judges that I moved around, but not. There were two main purposes from moving around. First, to move to Sơn Resort, the alias Gone, the brother of Son Sen, and moved to the secretary of Phunyalu district to wait to see the result or the decision made by the Angka to call me back to Phnom Penh. That's all.
Judge Laverne, before this, were you told about the prospect of moving you to Phnom Penh? Were you told that you might have a position to take up later on?
The accused, I was not told anything after that. On the 30th of January, things was organized and I was given a motorbike and I was asked to wait to see what would happen in the future. So I had not known anything about what would happen. The people at the special zone at that time came to Phnom Penh. People at the hospital came to the hospitals, and people from Sector 15 also left the area. So I was frustrated and I did not know where I should go. I had nothing to do but to wait for the order from the upper echelon.
Judge Laverne, last question. Was there a return to M13 in 1979?
The accused, when I fled, I stayed at my wife's house for some days, about a fortnight or a month, before I got to my former place, the office of M13A, to temporarily stay at that location. It is true.